Imagine you are driving alone at night. The road is dark. There is no one around. Suddenly, your tire goes flat. Most people would have to stop on the side of the road, maybe in the rain, trying to change a tire they've never changed before. But some tires don't stop working when they go flat. They keep going. Up to 50 miles. No drama. No danger. So how is that possible? What is happening inside the tire when there is zero air, and it still carries the weight of the car? Let's understand. First, we need to know how a normal tire works. Most people think the rubber holds the car up. But that's not true. The air inside the tire carries the weight. Think of a normal tire like a balloon. The balloon holds the pressure, and the rubber simply keeps that pressure contained. A typical car tire has about 32 to 35 psi of air pressure inside. That air supports the entire weight of the vehicle. The rubber sidewall, the side part of the tire, is actually very thin. Usually just 3 to 5 millimeters thick. About the thickness of 2 coins stacked together. So when a nail punctures the tire, the air escapes quickly. The sidewall collapses. The metal wheel drops closer to the road. And within seconds, the tire is ruined. At high speed, that can be extremely dangerous. Run-Flat tires were designed to solve exactly this problem. There are a few different ways engineers have solved it. The most common solution is something called a reinforced sidewall. In a normal tire, the sidewall is thin and flexible. But in a Run-Flat tire, the sidewall is much thicker and stronger. Instead of 3 to 5 millimeters, it can be 8 to 12 millimeters thick. It contains several layers of reinforced rubber and sometimes steel. Think of the difference between a plastic bag and a plastic bottle. A plastic bag collapses easily when empty. A plastic bottle can still hold its shape even without anything inside. A Run-Flat tire works more like the bottle. When the air pressure disappears, the reinforced sidewalls carry the car's weight. This allows the vehicle to continue driving. Usually up to about 50 miles. And typically it speeds up to 50 miles per hour. That distance is enough to reach a service station or tire shop safely. There is also another design. Instead of strengthening the tire walls, engineers place a support ring inside the wheel. When the tire loses air, the tire rests on this internal ring. The ring carries the weight of the vehicle, almost like a hidden spare tire inside the wheel. This system can sometimes allow longer driving distances. But it requires special wheels and is more complex. Because of that, it is less common on regular passenger cars. Another technology often mentioned with Run-Flat tires is the self-sealing tire. But this works differently. Inside the tire is a layer of sticky sealing material. If a small object like a nail punctures the tread area, the sealant immediately fills the hole. The air stays inside. The driver may not even notice the puncture. However, this system only works for small holes. If the sidewall is damaged or the tire completely loses air, self-sealing tires cannot help. One question many people ask is this. If Run-Flat tires are so strong, why can you only drive about 50 miles? The answer is heat. When a tire loses air, the sidewalls must flex much more than usual. Every rotation of the wheel bends the sidewall. At highway speeds, that means hundreds of bends every mile. This constant bending creates friction inside the rubber. Friction produces heat. Normally, the air inside the tire helps distribute that heat. But without air, the heat builds up inside the sidewall. Eventually the rubber structure weakens. That's why Run-Flat tires are designed for a limited distance. After driving on a flat Run-Flat tire, it usually needs to be replaced. Another important part of the system is the tire pressure monitoring sensor. Because Run-Flat tires can still feel stable when flat, drivers might not notice the problem immediately. So modern vehicles use a TPMS system. Small sensors inside the wheels constantly measure tire pressure. If the pressure drops too low, a warning light appears on the dashboard. That warning tells the driver to slow down and find a place to repair or replace the tire. Without this warning system, Run-Flat tires would be much less safe. Like every technology, Run-Flat tires have advantages and disadvantages. The biggest advantage is safety. If a normal tire suddenly loses pressure at high speed, the vehicle can become unstable. A Run-Flat tire helps the car stay controlled. Another advantage is convenience. Drivers do not need to stop on the roadside to change a tire. And because there is no spare tire, the car can have more storage space in the trunk. But there are also downsides. Run-Flat tires are usually more expensive. They can cost 20 to 50% more than regular tires. Their reinforced sidewalls can also make the ride feel slightly firmer. And in many cases, once a Run-Flat tire has been driven while flat, it cannot be repaired. It must be replaced. Some drivers also notice slightly lower fuel efficiency because the tires are heavier. So are Run-Flat tires worth it? If your vehicle was designed for them, they can provide real safety benefits. Especially for drivers who travel long distances or drive late at night. For city driving, traditional tires may still be the simpler and cheaper choice. Either way, the engineering behind Run-Flat Tyres is impressive. A tire capable of supporting a heavy car, even with zero air inside. A small piece of technology that quietly makes driving safer. And now you know exactly how it works.